Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Victoria with VS Leather & Card. Today we're going to be making a beautiful set of napkin rings. I'm starting off with some 3 to 4 ounce veg tan leather, and I've drawn out my feather shape onto the leather. Now I'm just going to cut it out. I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife for this, just to get into those smaller corners. If you didn't know already, our website is vsleather-card.com. Our next shop update is March 20th. I'm just using my swivel knife here to cut in that center line, and now we're going to be moving on to painting. I've laid some tape down just to be able to mix some paint colors, and I'm using the Angelus leather paints in burgundy, salmon, bronze, and I'm also going to mix a bit of the burgundy with some salmon. At the end, we will use some of the Angelus leather paint in vanilla as well. Applying this paint, I'm using a super light pressure and a very small amount of paint. I'm just flicking the paint out from the center. I wanted to put this darkest color down first because I wanted it to start drying so that way I could go over it a second time. Now I'm going to use the mid-tone that I have and sort of blend that into the darker color and bring it up more toward the ends. Lastly, I'm going to take the salmon color and use this as sort of a highlight around the edges, blending some of that in further to our darkest color. These napkin rings will come in a set of 4, and they will be available March 20th. Again, I'm taking the burgundy color and just deepening that color on my feather and continuing to just flick it out and feather from the center of our feather. I wanted to add more detail, so I'm taking some of this bronze and just kind of using it to put little splotches on the feather. And I'm flicking some of this white paint, the vanilla paint, into a splatter on the feather. Moving on, this is the actual strap for our napkin ring. It measures 1 inch wide by 5 inches long. I'm taking this square tool I got from Tandy. The number is G538 if you want to pick that up. I'm just stamping it down the center. I scribed a line down, I marked my center and then scribed a line down my center, and that's how I'm running this stamp. Next, I'm going to be taking a tiny camouflage stamp. The number for that is 0428, and you can find that at Tandy as well. Lastly, I'm going to use a cedar from a leather stamp kit or a leather stamp set that I got off of Amazon. Everything I use in this video, I will link below. I will also link our website. And just in case you're saying, Victoria, this is cute and I love these, but this is too much for me. So now that that's done, we'll let it dry. And I've just marked my center with my stitching chisels. Now I'm going to edge this piece with a number 2 edger. And then I'm going to paste the back of this with some Tokonol. It's really just going to lay down the fibers and not have it be so rough and flanky feeling. We're going to do the same to our edges. Once that's done, I'm going to use some of this leather balm on just a cut up piece of towel, and I'm going to buff that until it's a really pretty honey color. I'm adding my antique. This is the Phoebe's Antique Paste in dark brown. Before you apply the leather balm with atom wax, you are going to want to oil all of your pieces. That's going to keep them from cracking. It's going to keep them from being worn out faster than they should, especially since these are napkin rings and they're going to be bent around into a small circle. Now I'm just taking the Phoebe's Edge Coat in the color brown, and I'm just working around this napkin ring. If you're looking to make your own napkin rings, the creativity you could have would be endless if you wanted to make napkin rings for Easter or for 4th of July. The possibilities are endless when you're making your own anything. Now I'm just taking some very dark brown thread and I'm going to run it through the center of that feather and the center of our napkin ring. I'm just doing a simple stitch here. I also sealed or pasted down the back of the feather just so that way the back of both pieces would look similar. However, I did not add edge coat to the sides of the flower, so that way it would more stand off of its background piece. Next, I'm going to be taking a 5/32 of an inch hole punch and just punching those holes for our line 20 snaps. I got my set of hole punches from Harbor Freight. They work fine for leather. I will also link this setter that I got from Tandy. It has been a real lifesaver. I like the way that it performs. It doesn't leave some of the metal sticking up. My snaps always set properly with this setter. Next, we'll take one of these gold napkins and start to shape our napkin ring around and then just slide it on. And that's it. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.